I do want to talk about the 2024 implications here. Obviously, as you and I have talked about many times, Trump is the lead GOP contender in the 2024 presidential race, and now he's facing a potential indictment. But like we just said, this type of investigation always seems to embolden his base and kind of energize his campaign. Do you think an indictment could actually bolster his 2024 campaign?
That's hard to say because Trump has a base of supporters, but that base cannot get him elected on their own. He needs more moderate Republicans to come out and vote for him and choose him over a Ron DeSantis or another Republican candidate. As of now, it's tricky, I think, for the other GOP candidates, potential candidates in next year's presidential election, like Ron DeSantis, for example. They do want to criticize Alvin Bragg, who is a Democrat, and just the Democrats in general, and say this was a politically motivated investigation. But at the same time, DeSantis does not obviously want to be out there defending Donald Trump. So he has said that, he insinuated that the payments themselves were wrong, but so was the investigation. So, I mean, we are really seeing the GOP once again, rally behind Trump. And I think it says a lot about how, they may not be beholden to him, but they do know how important his base of supporters are and how important he really still is to the identity of the Republican Party. I mean, Kevin McCarthy has come out in defense of him. As I mentioned, Ron DeSantis, Mike Pence, who is another potential 2024 contender. So if anything, I would say that, this is empowering Trump, or just letting him know that the GOP is still behind him in a way. But of course, Democrats, I mean, this would be a prominent attack for any Democratic candidate. And also likely, as much as, Republicans, even those who are contesting him, would say that this was a politically motivated investigation, and they are. If he is charged, I'm sure that will be brought up by his primary opponents as well. So
You did mention Ron DeSantis, and I do want to talk about him because he's in an interesting position here. He's number 2 to Trump in a lot of polls for the 2024 GOP presidential candidate. And if Trump is extradited from Mar-a-Lago, the extradition would have to be approved by either a judge or Florida Governor Ron DeSantis himself. So what position does this put DeSantis in?
he said within the past couple of days that he was not going to get personally involved, and really the governor's approval for an extradition would just be a formality. So I would not expect him to fight that. And as I mentioned, he did say that the payments themselves were wrong, but in the next breath, he also said that the investigation itself is politically motivated and should not be happening.
Republicans all around have been saying that this is politically motivated. But now what about the Biden administration? What has their response been?
Top Democrats on the Oversight Committee, Jamie Raskin, he is the ranking member, for example. He really hit back hard against House Republicans who yesterday sent a letter asking for Manhattan District Attorney to sit for a transcribed interview before the committee about his investigation. Raskin and other Democrats in Congress said that while Republicans have said that Bragg is weaponizing his office, Democrats are now saying that House Republicans are weaponizing their congressional duties to become involved in this criminal justice matter here in New York.
And Sarah, what's next? Is this just a waiting game, or is there anything to look forward to?
As I mentioned, the Manhattan grand jury Wednesday. and they could vote on an indictment as soon as tomorrow. And, that could be, even though the case is under seal, that could be leaked to the media. So I'm expecting, some excitement tomorrow, and then indicted in the coming days and weeks, whenever he is arrested and arraigned in criminal court. And when he is arraigned, that would be when the case is made public and the charges are formally made public against him by the district attorney's office.